Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and in today's video I am going to delve into more of the philosophy of practice by helping you break probably the worst habit that we all have as musicians. Now, if you've watched my channel for any period of time, it's probably safe to say that you play a musical instrument. And you want to be better at your musical instrument because that's what we all do. If you're here, you're watching my stuff because you're passionate about your instrument. You want to be better at what it is that you do. And I'm really, really big on the notion of practice, incredibly big on the notion of practice. Of course, recently I released guided practice routines for guitar. Guided practice routines because people need help with practice. I do weekly guided practice routines over on my Patreon page, like half an hour long video where I'm explaining the concepts that we need to work on and I'm practicing the exercises so you can practice along with me, because I believe that effective use of your practice time will make you a better player. So what's this habit that we need to break? Well, we need to understand that when you're practicing your instrument, you're only really working on one thing. Sure, learning to sweep pick over a set of chord changes is work. Don't get me wrong. String skipping and tapping multiple, like 4-note per string pentatonic stuff, very difficult to do. But nowhere near as difficult as overcoming the struggles that you have with your own inner self. For me, practice is about beating myself. Practice, much like I'd say, being in the gym or running a marathon, it's that overcoming the I can do this. That inner struggle of you can't do this. No, I can do this. No, you can't do this. I can do this. The human ego is an incredibly fragile thing, and we are so quick to go through as many mental gymnastics as we need to in order to protect our own fragile egos. And because of that, practice can be an incredibly inefficient use of our time, because it's very easy to go, oh, this is just too much work. I'm going to go and jam over a backing track because for me that's more fun. Or I'm going to go and play this song because I learnt this song recently and I want to play the song. I don't want to work on my scales or whatever it happens to be that you need to be practicing. Overcoming that person, overcoming your inner self, will make you a better musician. Now, how do we go about doing that? Well, we need to get into the habit of practicing the things that we need to practice instead of the things that we want to practice. I'll say that one more time. I need you to go and practice the things that you need to practice, not the things that you want to practice. Now, sometimes the things that you want to practice and need to practice, there'll be crossover there. But the chances are, the one thing I can say about having written a book like this and working with as many students as I have now over the years, it's so easy for us to fall down that rabbit hole of, oh, I'm seeing progress in my alternate picking chops or legato or whatever it happens to be, so I'm going to work on that thing. And meanwhile, you are missing one of the most important skills that we all should have as musicians, which is our ears. You know, I work professionally as a transcriber, and I've had to put a lot of time and attention into developing my ear. And, you know, when people say, how did you get so good at transcribing? Well, it's an easy answer for me. I've been doing it for 4 or 5 hours a day, every single day for the last 15 years of my life. You tend to get good at things when you put that much time in there. But I only started to get good at it because I devoted time to it. I devoted time to my ear. I devoted time to this idea of my ear sucks. And I really do mean this. When I started, my ear sucked. I wasn't naturally talented at this in any way, shape or form. I had to develop my ear. I had to develop my eyes. I had to develop my ability to read. I had to develop my rhythm reading skills. Incredibly important. Now, I ask you, if I put a rhythm on screen like this, could you read it? If I put a rhythm on screen that's a little bit more complicated like this, could you read it? The answer to both of those should absolutely be yes. If the answer is no, then why are you considering going and spending your practice time tonight working on integrating tapping with sweep picking? You know, what I've presented on screen there is much, much easier than most of the things that I'm sure you're off practicing. So why not just spend a little bit of time working on the thing, developing the skill to have that put to rest? The entire focus behind guided practice routines for guitar, when people ask me, you know, who is this book before? It does say foundation level, but I could work through this book with almost every single one of my intermediate or advanced students, because there's usually always some skills that we just skip over. You could be an advanced jazz musician, but could you play just triads over giant steps? Just triads. You know, don't forget the melodies. You should never say that. Never say forget the melody. Could you just play triads? If not, why not? You should think that triads is the simplest form of harmony, so I should be able to apply triads to this. And it's very easy to, again, if the answer to that is no, if you can't do that, then it's easy to go, yeah, but I can do all these other things. Who cares? I'm not interested in what you can do. I'm interested in helping you or motivating you to go and fix the things that you can't do. I'll give you an example in my life. So, yeah, sure, I play guitar. I still play guitar, but my main passion in music now is the piano. I play the piano and I play the organ, the Hammond organ. And I love the instruments. They're great fun. And I've moved, I've come a long way on those instruments in the last 2 years. A lot of fun. It's awesome. And I love putting on, a Jimmy Smith record or a Jack McDuff record, sitting at the organ and just jamming along, hearing Jimmy play a lick and then copying it. And I'm relatively good at that. But then I sit and I think to myself, well, how good is my technique, my actual technique? Why is it that I know my scales in 12 keys, but do I really know them? Do I know them to the point that I could play them at 140 BPM, 16th notes, 4 octaves up and down in both hands? No, I don't. So why is it that when I sit at the piano, I'm so quick to just noodle over a blues chord progression and play a lick over and over again, when there are fundamental skills, there are foundation level skills, the skills on which everything else is built, which is finger dexterity and the control of the hands? Why am I missing these incredibly important parts? Because I'm practicing the things that I want to practice rather than the things that I need to practice. I'm promising you, if you put some of your time into this, practicing the things that you need to practice, you'll become an infinitely better musician. And trust me, the things that you need to practice are nowhere near as hard as the things that you want to practice. So you should only have to put a little bit of time into these things before you can start going back into the things that you want to practice. But when you do it, you're going to have a better understanding of music. You're going to hear a 1-6-4-5 chord progression and know what it is. You're going to hear a 1-6-4-5, immediately be able to play it, immediately be able to play melodies over it. Your ear is going to be tuned into that thing. And then you'll be able to start applying some of your more chops-based playing to that. You can start hearing things that other musicians are playing and go, oh, that was really cool. This is why it's cool, because you can hear it, and this is how I do that. You will develop so much faster as a musician if you spend a little bit of time developing the things that you need to practice. Now, let me be clear as a closing thought. I'm not saying to you, you need to go and work on your ear, forget your technique. That's not the case. That's just simply not the case. For everybody watching this video, your personal needs are going to be different. They simply are going to be different, right? I spend so much time working on my ear that realistically, I think you'd all agree, I probably don't need to work on my ear. I've pointed out some of the things that I need to work on. Physical ability on the piano. I know that, right? Those are things I need to practice. I don't need to work on my ear. My ear's good. I can sit and work out, piano solos, but my skill at performance is lacking. So those are things that I need to work on. As a guitar player, there are things I know that I need to work on, and my ear isn't one of them. So we all are going to have different needs. We just need to be really honest with ourselves about the things that we need to practice. Stop practicing the things that you want to practice. You will become a much better musician if you focus on the things that you need to practice. I want to say a huge thank you to all of my wonderful supporters over on Patreon. Their names are going to scroll on screen now. You guys are absolutely awesome. If you want to join these guys and get access to my weekly guided practice routines or my weekly guided ear training sessions, check out the link in the description. Great way to become a better musician, but also just a great way to support the channel and allow me to keep doing the things that I'm doing and helping people as much as I try to help people. And if that doesn't suit you, you can also check out one of my books. You can see some of them on screen there. And of course, I'm holding up the latest one, Guided Practice Routines for Guitar, Foundation Level. Any questions about this, please do let me know in that comments section below. Thank you so much for checking this video out, and I am here to help you. If you do have questions, feel free, get in that comment section. Tell me the things that you want to practice, and then tell me, be honest, treat it like you're going to AA. Tell me who you are and tell me what you really need to practice. If you need me to hold you accountable, I'm happy to do that. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'm going to close it with the one and only thing that I can say in a situation like this. Go and do some practice, but practice the things you need to practice.